It generates the most G's on a racetrack. What am I talking about? Braking, of course. And that's what we're talking about today on The Racing Line. But where do you brake? Well, right here, in the brake zone. These braking markers give you a reference so you'll know just when to slam them on. But when is that exactly? When you start to see the bright white of the pearly gates. Brake markers leading into the corner give you a reliable reference to hit the same exact brake point every time, every lap. Without markers, it can be difficult to find an exact braking point. So you need to find your own. A skid mark, a crack in the pavement, a crime scene. Rough neighborhood. So how late is too late? When it hurts your exit speed. Exit speed is king. Or to state the obvious, if you end up in the wall. The wall is not your friend. Now we need to talk about anti-lock brakes. ABS has been around for the last couple of decades and in every new road car for years. But there's somewhere where it isn't always allowed. That's racing. Some series emphasize human driver control over the computers. So if you're going to be a racer, you need to learn the ins and outs of racing with ABS and without. First, I'm going to do a foot-to-the-floor panic stop with ABS. Then I'm going to do the same without ABS, and we'll see what happens. With ABS, ABS is easy. You just jam those brakes on. The computers do all the work. You can hear them working as they quickly turn the brakes on and off. Without ABS. As you can see from the results, ABS stopped the car much faster than the car without ABS. But using ABS still isn't the best way to stop, and we'll get into that later. Let's do that again. But this time, I'll try to steer with my brake to the floor, avoiding this wall of cones. Cone navigation with ABS. The great thing about ABS is that you maintain steering control, like this. The car will still turn even under heavy braking. Cone navigation without ABS. Without ABS, no matter what we do with the wheel, it'll still go straight. As you can see, the non-ABS car locks the tires and it continues straight on no matter how much steering input you give. On the other hand, with ABS engaged, the car's computer adjusts braking so the wheels keep rotating and steering can still happen. And this leads us to the tire rack minute. Tires grab best with just a little bit of slide. Too much, and they'll lock, instantly losing bite, losing steering response, and possibly ruining the tire with a flat spot, like we've done here. I mean, just look at this flat spot. Throughout a race, this is only going to get worse, too. The tire will tend to lock up right there in that same place. Flat spots will hurt your lap times, they'll ruin a tire, and if you haven't figured this out, tires win races. So what have we learned so far? The first rule of Brake Club is to not lock up your tires. So what is the best way to brake? Well, there is no one best way. It depends on the situation, and there are different types. Let's start at the max. Threshold braking. A threshold brake is right on the edge of the ABS. It's the strongest way to stop a car on track. It's when tires develop their ultimate bite, with just a bit of slip. This type of braking is the most common and reserved for braking when straight and balanced. As you can see, threshold braking stops just a bit faster than full ABS and way faster than locking up the wheels without ABS. So if threshold braking can stop in a shorter distance, what's the point of ABS on track? Well, if you go just over the point of threshold, the ABS is there to make sure you don't flat spot the tires and lose steering. Even for professionals, it can be difficult to brake perfectly at the threshold every time. Brushing the brake. What's the problem with threshold braking? A hard brake transfers a ton of weight forward, unbalancing the car. Sometimes a brush brake is all that's needed to balance the car for the turn. A brush brake can be good mid-corner. A very light brake to point the nose in, it transfers weight to the steering tires and improves their grip. Trail braking. In a trail brake, you brake hard and straight, and then as you turn the wheel, you trail off the pedal. This is a racer's best friend because it loads the front tires, helping the car steer. The tighter the turn, the longer the trail brake, because as soon as you go to the gas, the fronts get light and the car straightens out. Left foot braking. In an automatic like this ATS-V, you can brake with your left foot and it quickens the time to get to the brake pedal. It may only be milliseconds, but that's what wins races. Emergency braking. And finally, say you've lost control, spun out, you've got no idea where the car is going next. What's the best thing to do? Take your hands off the wheels and sing "Jesus Take the Wheel"? Jesus take the wheel! No, this is the time to lock 'em and lock 'em hard. And get that clutch in too. Make sure you remain predictable and don't roll back onto the track with the rest of the field barreling down upon you. On that note, brake late, brake hard, and don't brake yourselves, driving enthusiasts. And we'll see you next time on the racing line. I'm in Road Atlanta racing a sports car at 152 miles an hour down the back straightaway. I go to the brakes and I get a hard pedal, but no brakes, or not very much. And I thought, what? And I throw the car sideways, catch the dirt underneath the bridge, come out from under the bridge upside down in the air, and I'm thinking to myself, I could end up in the hospital on this one. And I did.